On the mic.
Tash thought that was Manny.
It is
saying that.
Manny,
It
isn't
is?
it?
I thought it was his friend.
No, it's
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
Say
On the mic. On the mic. On the mic. On the mic.
On the Mic with Vocal Art Studios.
Hey, and welcome to another edition of On the Mic with Vocal Art Studios. My name is Casey, and this is
Ciara or Keeks.
My name's Ricky.
Ricky what?
Ricky Muscat.
Ciara what?
Ciara Muscat.
And how long have you guys been married for?
Married.
Well,
Take it easy,
you
Casey.
sound pretty offended there. You didn't pipe up.
I'm
He
old
could have
enough
been
to
my
be a
brother.
father nearly.
Well, yes.
Oh, we're shrouded in controversy already. What have I done?
But you are right, Casey. The Muscats have taken over on the mic
Yeah,
tonight. First time ever.
I'm in trouble.
So it's good to be here. It's good to be here with Keeks and yourself. This is our first show together.
It is,
We've
yep.
never had the pleasure of
No, never.
doing this.
And you're about to find out why.
Oh God.
You're actually, as of last week, award-winning.
I am. I'm waiting for my prize.
You are the quiz master.
I am. Well, it
award
was
winning.
actually my mum.
Well, I asked a question last week. You don't know about
on
it.
the
You know,
mic. I
yeah.
thought you were talking like some award for songwriting or
No,
something.
this is way more important.
Way more important.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
your mum must be like quite a Who fan or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you ask a who question?
Well, not directly. See, I'm very sneaky that way.
Mhm.
Oh,
So I
okay.
asked, what people had to guess what my favorite musical was.
I rang first and I said, I thought it was The Lion King because you said Elton John.
Because it was Tommy by the Who, and Elton John
Yeah.
is in the movie,
Ah, okay.
and he had the single from it.
Okay.
And what some of the other ones? There was another one I forget. Billy
Elliot.
Yeah, that was the other.
Mhm.
And then third time's the charm. You called in
I did.
with Tommy.
And I won.
She really wanted that $50 pizza
I
voucher,
did.
didn't you?
I'm going to go all out.
The good old $50 pizzeria voucher. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone who's listening in, we've got a few giveaways to give. Isn't that correct, Casey?
That is correct.
Who do we have? We have Sanchuro's.
Santuro Water Gardens.
Yes, we're giving away 2 vouchers for Sanchuro. So,
This is
guys,
correct.
if you're listening in, please give us a wave, say hello, let us know you're listening in. Our 2 best comments will receive some Sanchuro vouchers.
And if you call in to answer our very, very, very special question that we'll be revealing slightly later on, you could win a $50 Village Pizzeria voucher. They're pretty cool down there.
Yes,
Great
have you
supporters of
gone
this
and-
show.
Oh, you haven't collected your prize yet, have you?
I have not.
No,
maybe
I'll-
that's why she did the show tonight, so she could
I
get a
did.
prize.
Only reason.
Probably thinking, I'm not even going to get this prize here.
It's going to
Better
shake
go in,
us.
do a show, and
shake us
make sure I
down.
get that $50.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty lucrative.
Mhm.
You know, $50.
Could give me a good meal.
I haven't seen a 50 in years. But-
Anyway, Casey, what's on
Sorry,
tonight's
sorry.
show, bud?
All right, so on tonight's show, we're going to be hearing from some local artists. We're going to be hearing from Demi and Chelsea. We'll tell you about them a little bit later on, including one of the songs is actually doing quite well with a songwriting competition. So you'll dig that. And we're going to be having a chat about what you've been up to, yeah?
Yes. very excited.
Give us a hint, like what has been going down?
So it all started, I guess, from a single that I released at the end of January.
Mhm.
And just from that, I've had heaps of doors open for me with songwriting and performing.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that and get in depth, and also on your journey with going from in the last few years you've really prospered
I have.
quite a bit. Yeah,
I have.
See, I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. I'm hearing about it for the first time. So like my I don't know, adulation or surprise is actually quite legitimate. You know, it's not manufactured. Because it'd be very easy to know all this stuff and just sit here and go, wow. No, that is fascinating. But no, actually, the snippets that I've heard actually have been. So I'm looking forward to hearing.
We've got some people listening in as well, Kay. So we're going to say a quick hello to Chelsea Hawk.
Hey,
Chelsea, how you? She was on last week.
She was on last
was.
week.
Sang fantastically well as well. Helen Taylor, hello to you. Stephen John, hello, buddy. Fiona Muscat, our prize, big smiley face.
Another musket.
That's
She's,
my mom.
Ah.
She's talking about.
She's
our
probably
prize.
looking in to make sure that prize is coming down her way, I think.
We're in
I
trouble
don't think
now.
so. I think it's mine.
So hello to everyone listening. Thanks for joining in.
Hey, Liz.
Yes, hello, Liz.
You missed that one.
She didn't say anything. She just says
Oh,
that
she
she's
joined. I'll still say hello. Someone knocks at your door, you let him in. And hey, we played your track last week.
Oh, did you give me a spin, did you?
I gave you a spin. Yeah.
Oh,
What's been
wow.
happening with your music?
I've been a bit quiet, actually, with the writing. I need some inspiration. So I'm getting back into it soon. I'm actually going to get together with Manny, and we're going to start to do some writing together.
Yeah, cool.
So looking forward to getting with Manny, doing some writing. I probably might release a song over the next couple of months, just in the studio at the moment, putting on some final touches of a couple of songs. So once they're finished, we'll have a look and see which one we want to put out there and release. So
Hey, on that topic, I reckon that's interesting because isn't it hard to pick? So let's say you've got a batch of songs,
Mhm.
to pick one that you think will be received the best, but to remove your own sentimentality from it. So often your favorite
100%.
isn't objectively the best song.
yeah, well, what I usually do is like I've always got a bunch of songs, and I will show them to everyone I know.
Yep.
And I'll just look for the reaction, and most of the time it's the song that I don't like the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
So
I've got at the moment, I'm working, my band, the Chevaliers, are working on an album, and we got bits and pieces that are more completed than others. And but the singer, and if he's watching, my singer, we got a little thing, my singer. No, he'll keep what we've got on his phone and play it for people, as it progresses, and just get their opinion. And we did one song he thought was the best, and he played it for a friend of ours, and played all of them. I said, "Man, what do you think?" "Oh, she loved them all except for this particular song." And I'm like, "What?" It's outrage. I'm like, this is like saccharine, catchy pop rock. How could she? No, she didn't like it.
Yep.
Like, man, but that's the way it is. People, when he played, I don't know, he had 5 or 6 songs from the album. There's going to be 12, but he said that everyone liked a different song.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, that's weird, because we had certain ones picked that weren't necessarily the best or anything, but it's like, that's the catchiest, that's going to be the best
the
received.
strongest, yeah.
Yeah, and often people just don't feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
And so just one more
Yeah.
point on that, how often is it that there'll be, your favorite artist or band will put out an album and you scratch your head at the single choice?
Mhm.
You like,
Yeah.
I've had albums where I listen to it, the single is arguably the weakest song on there.
Mhm.
But, that's different opinions,
Yeah.
different folks.
And how did you go, Ciara, with releasing your first single? Was that just because I know you've written quite a few songs before?
I have, and
Yeah.
I've put out stuff before under my name, Ciara Muscat.
yeah.
But this was quite a new direction for me,
Yep.
and that's why that helped me with even choosing Keeks
Yep.
as my
I was going to
stage
say,
name.
yeah, that's under your.
How did you
Yeah.
come up with the name Keeks?
Keeks was just a family nickname.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I was about 14, it started, and I did think about it as an artist name, but at the time, because I was in school and
Yep.
felt a bit odd having like an artist name.
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
18. So
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
And straight into the world of music.
Mhm.
Crazy.
And
Very
you
grateful.
don't. Oh God, this is going to date me. But when you're 18, you don't realize like what a great age that is to be doing all this stuff.
It is, yeah,
And you think, you think you'll be 18 forever.
and you're not.
No, well, not to make this depressing.
Time goes quick. That's basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
Case.
pretty much.
Before you know it, you're going to be 35,
Oh.
and it's all downhill from there. Not talking about anyone.
No,
particular.
let's get on with it. I'm 21. You're what? 23. Yeah, it's great. Maybe we should, on that note, maybe we should have a listen to our first song. What do you think?
Yes. Which song are we going to, Pino?
What do you reckon?
We're going to Demi Bagnato.
What's
Yeah.
that? Yep.
Yeah, For the Better.
For the better. Let's have a listen
Just
to
a
that.
little introduction to this one, guys. So this Demi's only a 15-year-old singer-songwriter, and she's just entered the Listen Up comp, and she's made the top 10 out of 3,000 entries. So it's a pretty good effort for a 15-year-old.
Good effort for anyone.
This
man.
comp's, it's not a junior comp or anything like that. It's like fully across the board. So she's done really, really well. She's just found out this week that she's made the top 10, which is fantastic. And this is her song For the Better.
It's been months since we've spoken. Looks like now you're the king, with the world on your shoulders. You're just trying to fit in. Done some things you're not proud of, trying to please everyone. Tell me why you've been so foolish. Look at what we've become. Now you're acting like nothing's above you. You won't change, so I guess now I've got to take myself out of this wrong situation. It's not like me to get impatient. Now you're acting like nothing's above you. You won't change, so I guess now I've got to take myself out of this wrong situation. It's not like me. Things are changing for the better. Now I know what I am worth. Not wasting my energy on you. I've grown up, baby, you should too. Things have changed and now I'm better. My heart feels so much lighter. You're not here to weigh me down. I got lost in the fire. Had to find my way out. Now you're acting like nothing's above you. You won't change, so I guess now I've got to take myself out of this wrong situation. It's not like me to get impatient. Now you're acting like nothing's above you. You won't change, so I guess now I've got to take myself out of this wrong situation. It's not like me. Things are changing for the better. Changing. Now I know what I am worth. Now I know. Not wasting my energy on you. I've grown up, baby, you should too. Things have changed and now I'm better. Oh, if it was meant to be, then it would have been. Oh, maybe eventually you would have seen. Oh, if it was meant to be, then it would have been. Oh, maybe you will see. Things are changing for the better. Changing. Now I know what I am worth. Now I know. Not wasting my energy on you. I've grown up, maybe you should too. Things have changed and now I'm better.
Whoa. So yeah, you can probably tell why that song is doing so well. That's awesome. And Demi actually just joined, so she may have just missed her
You
own
just
song.
missed your song, Demi. We just played your song.
Fashionably
Fantastic.
late.
It was great though. We enjoyed it.
No, that is really good. I
Really
hope that
Such a high level for a 15-year-old.
for anyone, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's catchy. It's cool. It's a great song. What else can you say?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of great songs, see, I'm the master of the segue. let's talk about what you've been up to.
Yes.
I guess, where do we start?
Mhm.
Your trip?
Where did it start?
Well, where did it start?
I
That's
was
good.
born. I was born. Yes.
18 years ago.
18 years ago, I was born. Well, I started songwriting when I was about 12. So it's been in the works for a while. And I started singing lessons, and I'd been doing piano since I was about 7. And I came to Vocal Arts Studios when I was 14. And actually one of the reasons was because of the talent development program, because I'd heard how great that was. And I got to be in a group with
Wow, is that old?
Hang on a second.
yeah.
How long have you been at the studio for?
So when I was 14,
14.
but I started talent development when I was 15.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
the talent development program sort of helps you come to that school?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
then,
that would have been really fresh. Just an
I mean, like the
idea that
first
we-
year.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
I was in
that-
the second year of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think it was
Awesome.
only like Abby and Gemma and stuff.
Yeah,
in
we
the
only had a
first one.
small bunch of people.
Mhm.
And it was quite fresh, like a fresh idea. But it's great that
Yeah.
that sort of
It helped me build my confidence as an artist.
Yep.
Because I was around other people my age who were doing the exact same things
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was. Which is great because even just creating like an artist page on social media can be quite daunting,
Yeah,
especially when
absolutely.
you're still in school.
Yep.
So then I started doing gigs, and I'd with my singing teacher Manny.
Yep.
He helped me build my confidence with recording as
Mhm.
well. So I'd recorded a couple of originals, more just piano and singing.
Yep.
So then I was in my last year of school last year, and I thought I really need to hear my song fully produced and like just get the opportunity to see what it would sound like.
Yeah.
So I hit up these guys. They were called M Squared Productions.
Mhm.
And I recorded that song, Leave It At That, with them at the end of last year in December.
Yeah.
And I released it in January.
beautiful.
And yeah,
And it's been going really, really
Yeah,
well.
I believe
Yeah.
a few people have heard it.
Yes.
quite a few, yes.
So for all our listeners, Leave It At That, it's called.
Mhm.
It's had over 160,000 plays on Spotify, which is just awesome. I think every artist sort of tries to reach some sort of goal, and to reach that on Spotify must have caught you by surprise a little bit for your
beyond
first.
any
Yeah.
expectation, yeah.
Were you just waking up daily and
It was
checking
amazing.
the tally and being like, what?
Every day I was amazed.
Do they still do that thing? I know on Spotify it used to
Mm.
show you places where it was popular.
Yes.
It does that. Yeah, that would have been.
Really random as well. It's
Yeah.
like New York and London are like two of the top cities.
My favorite artist, I can't mean he's quite well established, like 40 million records. But I remember seeing that for Waylon Jennings, and it was like, it was like Texas, Nashville, Sweden. It's like, this is so weird. Places where certain things can be popular that you just would
Mhm.
not expect. So
So
that's
can you
Exactly.
see it
I.
even if you're not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't, because I mean, it's something I just looked at it as a curiosity years ago and thought,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Fantastic.
But yeah, that's crazy. That
Mhm.
and that's I mean, that's where we are now. It's not like you have to put out your CD and then distribute it. You just you get your song online, and if someone in New York wants to listen to it and tell their friends, they
Exactly. Yeah.
can. The world has become such a small place, especially for art and artists.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that's awesome. So
Yeah.
did that then lead to your recent overseas trip?
Yes, in a roundabout way.
So yeah, fill us
Yeah.
in.
So
So I don't know about this. So I'm looking forward to.
Oh, cool. Well, when I put it out on Triple J Unearthed, which is a great platform. I got a lot of interest through that.
Yeah.
And also the guys that recorded it with me, they sent it out to a few people, and it was a bit of this person heard it, so they sent it to this person. And from that, I got heaps of interest come in from like labels and all that sort of stuff. And so people have been setting up songwriting sessions for me. So I've got to meet a lot of people. And just recently I did a trip in Sydney, and I did a 10-day writing trip where I was writing a song a day, and we'd record the demo as well in the day,
Yeah.
which was unlike anything I'd ever done.
Were all the demos for yourself?
Yeah, so they're all
Yeah.
for Keeks
Yeah, yeah.
so far.
Okay.
And I also recently I was in America, and I was in Nashville. So the people that were setting up these sessions, I said to them, well, I'm going to be in Nashville. If you know anyone, that would be great.
Do you know anyone in Nashville who plays music? It's a long shot.
I know. But it was great. I got to write and record like where you want to write and record.
Yeah, Nashville is. I haven't been to Nashville, but I know
It's
a fair
incredible.
bit about Nashville, and yeah, that's for a musician, there aren't many better places.
And it just keeps growing.
Yeah,
Heaps of people. It's really big for the pop scene, actually.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
funny. It's really taken over
Mm-hmm.
with that, whereas a lot of the great country,
Yep.
real country, that's coming out isn't actually coming out of Nashville anymore.
So you did songwriting. You've done a lot of songwriting after releasing Leave It At That
Yes.
here, and then you went over to Nashville and did it over there as well.
Yes.
How would you compare both places?
The funny thing is, I guess every session's a little bit different with
Yeah.
each person, but at the end of the day, I've realized it's just writing a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no like
But they
magic
don't-
machine.
So they don't go about it differently.
No, you just
Same sort of process. Yep.
it's been amazing, just like eye opening.
Yeah.
There's no time machine
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah. Cool. I was just interested to see whether there was a bit of a difference in the countries in how they approach
Yeah.
those boot camps where they do like 10 days, as you were talking about, and the
Yeah.
songwriting every day, just to see whether there was some sort of difference in the approach to it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, I guess a great songwriter is a great songwriter. That's probably also
Yeah.
a byproduct of this whole internet thing. What am I saying? This whole internet thing known as the internet. Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of, I would think, a byproduct of that, just shrinking the world. And it's like you can, if you want to, write a song with someone on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
I'm
It's one
talking
point.
to a friend of mine at the moment. He's been approached by a pretty decent producer to put together something that he wants to work. I've worked with him in the past, and he wants to collaborate. Lives in Perth.
Mhm.
Not a big deal. He's like, what version of Pro Tools are you on? What version is he on? Cool, we can do that. Set up a Google Drive. We're writing songs.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow.
And isn't that great? I don't have to fly to Perth. He doesn't have to fly to Melbourne. We can edit each other's tracks. Super easy.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's once upon a time that wouldn't have been possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Awesome. Fantastic. So we're going to hear Keeks, Leave It At That. We're going to go to a commercial. And when we come back, we're going to hear Keeks, Leave It At That. And we're all excited here because we really want to hear the song again. We've heard it so many times. Who are we going
That
to?
sounds horrible. You sounded so sarcastic there.
Well, I've heard it heaps of times. Why do you think she's got 160,000 plays?
Yeah, exactly. It's all you. He's like, yeah, I can't wait to hear it again. It is really good. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, for our listeners
For our
haven't
listeners.
heard it.
And Ricky's feeling
But
under the weather.
I've heard it heaps of times.
I don't
I
think
love
I've heard it.
Big
And-
fan. No.
I'm
You haven't
sorry.
heard it?
Oh.
Casey.
Oh,
Big
hey,
fan.
you hadn't seen Tommy.
That's true. But no,
It's
not the
different.
same.
She's part of the studio.
No,
I
We're
know.
a family at the studio.
I'm not sure if I've heard it or not. I might have. I don't. We'll see. Well, we're going to sit with this.
Everyone's getting a bit flustered.
I'm
here in the
gonna
studio.
read out our address. Someone come and save me.
All right, we're gonna go to a commercial, guys.
Come and visit us at San Churros Water Gardens to share the best chocolate in the most delightful way. We are renowned for our fresh cooked churros and our Spanish couverture chocolates. Come in today and grab your El Social loyalty card to receive free churros on your birthday and every 5th hot drink purchase free, and many more fantastic offers. So come in to San Churro Water Gardens, shop 168 Water Gardens Town Centre, 399 Melton Highway, Taylor's Lakes.
San Chiro's Water Gardens, one of our fantastic sponsors,
They're our good friends.
our great friends.
Great friends. Yes.
Don't forget, guys, we're looking for those comments. Any special comments that come through that grab our attention will get a San Churros voucher. We have 2 to give away. And do we have the question that we're going to ask
We'll ask the question after this.
after this, so we can think about what question we're going to ask?
Ooh, yeah, we are. But I will tell you this: that one of the people who won a Sanchiro voucher last week, his comment basically had nothing to do with what was being spoken about. It was just an amusing reference, and I thought it was so cool that I gave him a voucher. So just get creative, have some fun. We want to laugh. He made me laugh. Make me laugh. But for right now, you know what's no laughing matter? The song we're about to hear.
Yes.
You
Is
say-
that the song you're going to hear for the first time, Casey?
Ever.
Potentially,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's a contentious issue
I've
here.
even heard it 3 times.
Yes.
Well, maybe I have heard it. Maybe I don't know. Why am I being vilified for this? All right, so we're going to be hearing Keeks Leave It At That. Let's go.
Surprise, I can make you feel the way I want you to. Now I wanna do it again. Only pretend to care if anyone is watching. Never been detached from emotion. Caught up in your hands and emotions. What a commotion. I don't wanna see you in the morning. I don't wanna hear anyone calling your name. I don't wanna see you in the morning. Oh, it's hard to believe, but I'm happy to leave it at that. Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? It's hard to believe, but I'm happy to leave it at that. Down by the beach and all we talk about is home. But I guess no one here makes any more sense. Struggling not to soak in the conversation. Putting things into formation. Connecting all your information. It's just a calculation. Now I wanna see you in the morning. I sit up when anyone is calling your name. Now I wanna see you in the morning. Feeling jealous and green. Not sure I can leave it at that. Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? It's hard to believe, but I'm happy to leave it at that. Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? It's hard to believe, but I'm happy to leave it. The fence and the water, apartment 4, dodging all of the clothes, covering the floor, and the cartoons and midnights are some of the reasons I'm happy to leave it. I'm happy to leave it. I don't wanna leave it. Not sure I can leave it at that. Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? It's hard to believe, to leave it at that. Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? Can we leave it? Oh, can we leave it? It's hard to believe, but I'm happy to leave it at that.
Wow,
What a track.
that's awesome.
Now you've heard it, Casey.
I have heard it.
Thoughts?
It's very good.
Oh, thank you.
I just told you that.
We've got some,
Sorry, we're going to act like we haven't been talking. That was really good. No, that was
we've got some
awesome.
great comments as well, guys. My favourite song from Chelsea Hawk, Nancy Hewitt. Hey, Nancy, how are you, sweetheart?
Hey.
Wow, great lyrics. Gets me every blip time.
Oh,
Thanks, Carla.
The foul
Carla.
language on this internet.
And Carla said we're all looking amazing. So thanks for that, Carla.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
That's if she was talking to us. I'm pretty sure she was just talking to Ciara. But anyway, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm involved in that.
Jessica P, I love this song, Ciara.
Thanks.
So catchy. Just dancing around the room, Helen Taylor.
It's my auntie.
So great reception from everyone.
That actually was
Listening in.
really catchy. That's going to be caught in my head.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, Rory
Yeah.
just texted me too and saying the production quality is unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that was really
cool.
well produced.
Yeah.
Very.
They're awesome.
That sort of round, really low bass drum sound in the verse,
Mhm.
really cool. Drove it. The way that it built in the choruses and all of that.
Yeah.
That was really well produced.
Mm.
And that song's really set me on a path then for the rest of my writing.
Mhm.
So I really found my sound, I think.
Yeah, and
with
so
that.
tell us quickly a little bit about the song. What's it about? And tell us a bit about it.
Okay, so it came about from it was just a chord progression that I had, and then I had this lyric in my phone, and it was originally "I'm just surprised I can make you feel the way I want you to," and it just
Evolved from that.
evolved from that. And I
Yeah,
always take it
that's-
from personal experience.
I always say this, but every great lyric I've ever written, well, great, if you know, gonna toot my own horn. No, every what I feel is great lyric I've ever written has come from just one line.
Yeah, and it just
little
sets you
line,
on your
and you say,
way.
right, that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So that sets you on the path to what you're actually going to write about without
Exactly.
thinking prior.
Yeah,
This is what I'm going to write about.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
where the best stuff comes from, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
and I
that
think
spontaneity.
I had to get in that headspace of not worrying about like, oh, people are going to listen to this. Like, just actually write the song and like not, I guess, censor it or
that's one of my
yeah.
things. Like, I went through a phase of writing. It was going to be an album. I didn't actually quite. It's not that I didn't finish it. I didn't really put it out just for a variety of reasons. But a lot of the songs, it was sort of like I'd write them and then I'd go, and this isn't the reason, but I'd write them and go, oh my God, I hope so and so doesn't hear this.
Well, yeah, that's that's happened.
I could be in a lot of trouble. And I'm like, well, it's real.
Yeah,
You know, things happen. You write songs about them.
yeah.
It still frightened me a little bit, but that's cool, you know. So let's talk about our topic for call-ins. I think we go with the song-related. Leave it at that.
Oh, we were talking about
Yeah.
this before.
All right, this is a Ricky Muscat original. This idea. I'm not going to claim to have come up with this. And
I was just trying to be a little bit clever with
dude, it's got Triple M written all over it.
how we were going to get people to call in, and I thought let's try and blend it in with the title of Ciara's song. I didn't think you were actually going to go with it.
I like it.
You do?
Yeah. So, and I'll have to think of an example myself. I can think of many times when people have said this to me, but not, the inverse. Anyway, so when has there been a time or a situation, a scenario when you've perhaps had to tell someone, hey, leave it at that? It can be good, it can be bad, preferably somewhat incriminating. We want some controversy here. Let's really make this
beautiful.
salacious and controversial.
Pino has put up the number to ring in, guys. 0412376848. Ring us up.
Call
Tell
us. We love to chat.
When have you had to say, you know what? Just leave it at that.
And the
Right.
funnier, the better. I don't care if you make it up. In some ways, I'd respect that even more. How am I going to know? How are we going to know?
Yep.
But when have you had to tell someone something, anything, to leave it at that? When have you guys had to tell anyone to
I was
leave
gonna
it
say,
at that?
has any of you guys experienced that?
Just
Someone
leave it at
said it to
that.
you?
It's a
Good
tough one.
question.
Well, so I'm not alone in feeling the irony there. Like, yes,
I've already told you.
yes.
I
So you
wrote
wrote
a
a whole
song.
song about it,
I
didn't
know.
you? Leave it at that. So what? I mean, when do you tell someone to leave it at that? When you've just had enough? Is that when you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just well and truly fed up. I've quit a few bands in my time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've pretty much told them just, hey, leave it at that.
Just leave it.
I haven't-
Sassy.
As in no more music because that's it. That's great.
See you later.
Yeah.
My daughter usually goes to me, Dad, don't go there.
Don't go
what
there.
Yeah, I might start
Don't
saying,
even.
Take
leave
it
it at
easy,
that.
Dad.
Take it.
Yeah.
Cool the engines, just like Boston. Leave it at that. When have I had to leave it at that? I don't know.
You probably don't say you wouldn't. I
I wouldn't actually say leave it
You
at
wouldn't
that.
say leave it at that. Even if you just say leave it, just leave it.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
When
So I'm
you-
sure there's plenty of people out there, and even if you don't come up with something where you've had to say leave it at that, even if you just want to ask our beautiful Keeks a question, feel free to ring us up and ask a question as well. We've got Stephen John. My wife tells me that all the time, and she is right. When it comes to music, this principle always applies.
Stephen, please tell your wife to take the gun away from your head.
Oh my gosh.
What's this?
Pino Bertolini, is that any night you work with Will Music? Just leave it at that.
Hey, we'll leave it at that. Leave it at that. Of course, he's referring to Guitar Talk, which is on Wednesday nights, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that was for last night because we did drum talk, and I was actually sitting with you guys, and I put Will behind the desk here for the first time last night.
Big trouble.
Big trouble. It was a mess.
It was the best.
No, it was all good. It was all
I thought something looked a little bit different watching last night's show.
good.
I thought, it doesn't look the same.
It was very different, that's for sure.
Well, I'll do
That's
that. While we have a think about this, should we perhaps head to commercial? What do you
Sure.
think? Yeah. Who are we going to hear from now?
our other sponsor.
Village Pizzeria.
Village Pizzeria.
Now this, which is fitting because this question is for you to win a $50 Village Pizzeria voucher. And, I'm sure once the $50 is up, if you've got no more money, they'll say leave it at that.
Yes.
Let's hear from the Village Pizzeria.
Established in 2008, the Village Pizzeria combines Italy's wood-fire pizza method with the generous toppings that we are accustomed to in Australia, using only the freshest and best ingredients to complement our signature pane di case pizza base, which is hand-stretched, well-risen and baked perfectly. Everything on our menu is made from scratch and made with care, which takes longer, but as the saying goes, all good things take time. For real Italian food, come and see Gary at the Village Pizzeria at 662 Old Calder Highway, Keilor, or call us on 9331 5233.
All right, Village Pizzeria, support them all you can. They support us and they support this channel. They're good people and they support live music too.
And they support my belly.
They support Pino's. Oh, you got no belly.
I've heard the pizza's fantastic there.
What do you mean you heard? Haven't you been?
I haven't been there. I work
Oh.
Wednesday nights, and then again, I don't have to go there on a Wednesday night. But my only night off, is Tuesday, and I'm here half the time. So
they're closed on a Tuesday.
there you go. See,
That's
my
why
luck.
they're on here so much.
No, but
chatting
I
to
actually
us.
have heard that the pizza is amazing.
Very nice.
And we're not just saying that because they're our sponsor, but it actually is really, really good.
Well,
So-
yeah. Well, to that end, it's got nothing to do with it. I'm getting a bit cocky with these segues. I think I can turn anything into a great relevant segue. Let's have a little chat to Ciara about, because this is outside of music, so you're not Keeks with this one. You're Ciara.
Yes.
About how because you teach now,
I do.
and how you transitioned from, well, I guess student to student and performer
Mm-hmm.
to performer and teacher.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, 3 little phases there.
Yeah,
Thought that
nice.
through, didn't I? Ring a ding ding. But no, to talk about that.
Yeah, so I've been at vocal arts for the last few years, and Manny was my teacher throughout all of that. And then last year, as I finished school, Liz and Manny approached me about perhaps teaching. So then this year I started teaching singing. I've got a few piano students, and I've also got a songwriting student. So
Wow,
it's quite a
awesome.
range.
Well, you're good at all of those things.
Oh, thank you.
As we all heard it in one song. But what are some of the what are some of the challenges that you, and we'll certainly chime in on this as well.
Yeah.
Been known to teach on occasion. But yeah, what are some of the challenges that you faced going into teaching? Because it's different. Just because you can sing and play doesn't necessarily mean that you can teach it.
Yeah, well, sometimes you've got to find, just because you understand something a certain way doesn't mean the student will
That's right.
understand. So you've got to find different ways
Absolutely.
to explain things. Also, sometimes if they're really shy, just getting them to open up.
Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
hard, can't it?
It can.
Because they could be shy for a variety of different reasons.
Yeah.
And sometimes if there's one particular method that you employ to get a shy student to open up, it won't at all work with the other. And you've got to be able to read that,
Mm-hmm.
and really pick who
Yeah.
will react best to what particular method.
And it's hard when you're first starting out
Yeah,
because you're sort of learning as you're teaching as well.
exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah, and you got to build confidence in yourself.
Yeah, but it's sort of one of my favorite things is seeing their confidence grow over the weeks. Like I've had a few in the first few lessons where they almost don't say anything, and
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got to really
Yeah,
spark
reel
them
them in.
up. And then now they come in and they like want to talk all about
Yeah.
their week and what
Yeah,
they're doing.
It's good, isn't it? Though, because it shows
Yeah.
that there's a bit of a trust there. And
Exactly. Yeah.
you feel like you feel good about yourself and about them.
Well, I forget even because I've been doing it for so long. I forget how nerve-wracking it is, especially I guess with singing, going in and if you've never sung in front of anyone before besides your family, and then suddenly someone's like really intently listening and saying how you can improve and stuff. I think it's quite intimidating
yeah,
if you're shy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be quite.
As teachers, I think you forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
Forget
remind
that-
myself.
Yeah, you have really. I actually got some personal private voice lessons recently, and
From me.
okay. And because I didn't get many vocal lessons when I was younger, like I didn't get any really, and I found myself in that situation for the first time, and I literally was just like, oh my God, I'm all frozen. Why? Like,
Dude,
I sing every weekend. She's asking me to do something, and I'm just naturally feeling very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And it brought me back to my own teaching and understanding how these guys are actually feeling, and
yeah.
and one thing that I really try and do in my lessons is just really try and relax the student and just let them know that it's okay to make a mistake. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Absolutely.
the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to do anything. But that experience for me was like, oh my God, I need to be a little bit more easy on my students, because sometimes you're a bit forceful, trying to get the best out of them, and you don't really understand how they're feeling.
And different approaches work for different students. It's funny you say that, because I probably had, I can't remember, it was a long time ago, but when I was in grade 5, I had some guitar lessons. My family bought me a guitar and some lessons, and I went and I had a few, and the dude didn't explain anything. So like, he'd say, you got to keep your thumb straight. I go, okay. I say, why? You just do. But what? I stopped going. I thought, this guitar business is boring. I had this stupid old book, it's like, this isn't cool at all. Didn't have another lesson. Taught myself to play, all sorts of ups and downs through that. And then was in a music course briefly when I was going to say my age. I won't say it. It was several years ago, and lessons were a part of it. And it was weird. It was weird to sit there and have someone be like, okay, play me something. And I'm like, well, I've never done this before, and it was an eye opener. It's quite odd. So you got to really, to bring it back full circle here, that is a big part of it, making them feel at ease, saying it's okay to make a mistake. It's good. It's good, because I'll tell you how to not make that mistake, and we can fix it. And, but there's a whole lot of challenges that go with it. And it's interesting. And hey, don't you find that you learn a lot about yourself?
Oh, yeah. Even about, I'm really conscious of my technique and making sure I'm showing them properly how to do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's making me a better singer.
And absolutely. And the thing also is, when you get a question, not necessarily a question you don't know the answer to, but a question that's never been phrased in such a way that you do have to think about it. And it's like, I can answer this, but you've just challenged me. And I like that.
Yeah.
I love it. I get giddy when, I get a question and it's like, oh man, like, no one's ever asked me that before. This is cool.
Yeah.
And with the guitar, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. I think the most interesting one for me has been my songwriting student.
Yeah.
Because I was never taught songwriting. I'd done like workshops and stuff, but no one ever said, oh, this is how you write a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just sort of something I developed.
Well, you've been doing it with so many people now, so you're
Exactly.
taking so many little things from all these songwriters.
So it's a challenge then. I don't want to tell her what to do. I'm just trying to help her build her own craft. Yeah.
Absolutely. Fantastic. We've got some funny comments that have just come through.
I like Rory's comment.
What's Rory said? On the other end of the scale, how do you deal with someone that has too much confidence and think they are a great singer but are going to take a lot of work to get there? That's a very good question.
I have encountered that with guitarists. He looks at Ricky knowingly. It'll come to you what I'm talking about. But yeah, there was, I actually encountered that with someone who
thought they were better than what they were.
Really, like, to an extreme. And that's a dangerous thing, because you're never 100%, because what's the point? You've got to keep growing. You get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And just to give you another example of that, I've got a YouTube channel where I do some guitar lessons. It's really specific stuff. It's just Waylon Jennings solos, and I just did it because no one else has it out there, and I was sick of seeing people play this stuff wrong. But anyway, these are 3-4 chord songs. The playing can be a little complex, but basically they're simple songs. And you'll get people on there saying, oh, you spent 3 minutes explaining how to play the song. Just get to how it's actually, show me how it's done. And it's like, if you have that attitude, you will never improve.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to tell you how it works.
Yeah. Well, we've got a great little comment here from Stephen John, who said, I had some very young student back in the day, and I explained to him how it takes time, and it's a little like building blocks. The student turned around to me and said, my dad said Rome was not built in a day. But the building blocks part makes a lot of sense, because, whether it's with singing and the muscles, or guitars and the fingering and all that, the fingers, sorry. It's all about, as what Stephen said, is building those blocks and taking the time to learn your craft and strengthen those areas.
I try to be quite honest and say, especially with guitar, because it is, and you play a bit, when you first do it, it's not like piano, you press the key. Hey, it might be the wrong key, but at least if you press it, you hear a sound. You press on the guitar, you just hear that dead sound. Yeah. And I'll say, look, this isn't going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. And I'd be lying if I said it was, but I'm going to make it as easy as I can for you. And if you put the time in, it will be one of the most rewarding things you've ever done. And it will open doors, and it'll be a lifelong thing that you'll love. But I don't think you can go into music thinking, oh man, I got this.
Yeah.
No, go in with the opinion, with the idea of philosophy, the approach of, hey, I'm gonna give this all I got, and I'm gonna get I'm gonna be the best that I can be. But don't think, man, I'm gonna teach that guitar how to play itself. Because you'll think that you'll have a closed mind.
Well, I found with each new thing that I get comfortable with, there's always something new that's going to make me nervous with music.
Yeah, it never ends. That's the best part about it. It's a journey, and I was talking earlier about a band, like a cover band that I was in years ago, playing pretty complex stuff, and I was like, you know what? If I could do that again, I'd do it so much better. And I was good back then, but I just see things in myself now where I'm like, oh, that's a little bit better. And 10 years from now, it'll be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And that's great.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be like, I've reached my peak.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Okay, I think we're going to go and play another track, guys. Next up, we have a cover by Chelsea Bates. What's the name of this cover that we're about to hear, Case?
I actually wrote it down on here wrong, but I know what it is.
What's it called?
Beautiful Little Fool.
Beautiful Little Fool. This is Chelsea Bates, ladies and gentlemen. Have a listen.
Beautiful little fools, that's what us girls are destined for. Beautiful little fools, born to be adored. Where is the feminine race? Where are these so-called independent women who pick up their thoughts and let the world in? Where are these girls? Beautiful little fools, that's what us girls are destined for. Beautiful little fools, born to be adored. Most of these girls pick up their brush. They may not like art, but their face is a canvas, designing something that is not their reflection, becoming a beautiful little Hollywood perception. Beautiful little fools, that's what us girls are destined for. Beautiful little fools, born to be adored. Didn't your mother ever tell you I love yourself? Well, if your mother was Zelda or Daisy, I guess not. Why can't you be a beautiful little girl instead of being a beautiful little fool? I guess we're all just beautiful little girls playing a game of being fools. Beautiful little fools, that's what us girls are destined for. Beautiful little fools, born to be adored. Beautiful little fools, we are just born to be adored. Beautiful little fools, we are just born to be adored.
Awesome.
What a beautiful voice.
Lovely, yeah.
Beautiful voice. I believe she's one of Manny's vocal students.
Yeah, I keep saying we got to get Manny back on here. I want to have a okay, so for those
We
of you,
need to get him playing the didge.
yeah, like Liz said, it's okay. So let me tell you about
No,
this guy.
let me tell you something first.
Okay.
We just had a great comment from Mario, which is Manny's dad, and he said, I can't see it. Can we drag down just a little bit, Pino, so I can see? Yeah, just there we go. Ricky, your experience in the wilderness, I would say leave it at that, Mario. So I had a crazy experience up in the forest. I'm not going to get into it too much, but that nearly deserves a Sanchuro's voucher, I reckon, for that comment. I'll definitely leave it at that. But Manny, we were up there, and everywhere we went, Manny'd be playing these didgeridoos. Right? There's this Italian wog in this didgeridoo store, right? Playing this didgeridoo like no other Italian has. Full on crowd, people watching at the door, and the manager at the place was like, "Oh my god, keep playing," because everyone was bringing customers through the place.
The didgeridoo hasn't had a resurgence like this in years.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. He ended up buying like a really nice didge, so it'd be crazy to have him in here. Maybe when he releases one of his new songs with Acacia, I believe there's a few tracks with the didge on there. But you got to get him in here playing the didge, because I've never seen an Italian play the didge like this in my life.
And so for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, like we drop all these names like we're talking about Elvis or something. But Manny's he's someone that we teach with, and he's been at Vocal Art Studios since the dawn of time. Yeah, literally since the beginning. And he's really into he's a great singing teacher, songwriting, but he's really into production and things like that as well. But he's also he loves music, so he comes out with these weird instruments and the didgeridoo. And I couldn't believe when I've walked past his room the other week and he had the Jew's harp, and I'm like, I've thought I must be the only person in the building who even know what this thing is. Like, I didn't think they existed, these things anymore, you know. Yeah. And there he is, and he's like, but not just did he have it, he got it like a special custom premium one from Russia.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, dude. It's all the sounds that I was saying before, the sounds that I hear coming out of his room are exciting and occasionally mystifying. But that's why I would love to get him on here, because he's got, again, Liz got to host the show with Manny. Get him on here again and just have some fun talking about that stuff, and also production. I've said it before, like we could just geek out talking about that stuff. He lives in Ableton as I live in Pro Tools. Like, it's so addictive. But hopefully we can get him on. He teaches Tuesday nights. But
are you doing much production, Ciara?
Well, at uni, I'm learning a lot.
Oh, so you're still studying as well?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
So
I'm
I'm
busy,
studying
aren't you?
composition. Yes. Yeah. So we learn a lot about Ableton at uni, but I'm just trying to get my mind around anything, because I've never done any production before.
It's a great tool for composition, because you can record your 3-4 parts that go in a song, just simple copy and paste, and then move them around and see what works and what doesn't. And you can do some incredibly complex things so simply that years ago, before any of our times really, but they would have been sitting around with the tape and the razor blade trying to, get it all together.
Yeah.
It's great. You should embrace it so much, because it's not the future even, it's the present. And we're lucky, like we got a studio in our laptop, you got a studio in your phone. It's crazy. I love it. I've been into it since I was about I was young. It was like 12 maybe, 13. This program back then, Cool Edit Pro. It's like, I don't know if you remember.
No.
Okay.
No, I
do.
Pino does.
Of course, Pino does.
Yeah, man. I was in it version 1.2. And then 1.2a was the big upgrade.
Mate.
Then after 3, it became Adobe Audition, I think.
Yeah, well, I go back to the reel-to-reel.
Yeah, I wish, man. I wish I could do that. Although it sounds.
I used to have a Tascam reel-to-reel, mate. I was like,
the Tascam. That was like the king of home recording, man.
It was, mate.
Tascam. They still do stuff too, but
they
it's.
still do.
I think they've had to evolve. But it's so cool that I was able to use that, and then it blew my mind that this would be. I'm not even going to say when it was, but it's a long time ago. And you could, multi-track on a PC that had like 32 gig of RAM. It was a Pentium 1, and you're recording multi-tracks and putting reverb on. And I just saw that and thought, this is insane. And then sort of moved on to Pro Tools and all that sort of stuff. And was lucky enough to have a friend that worked in the business. So I was able to get some pretty decent equipment for not very much money, which at the time was good because I didn't have very much money at the time, But no, it's so good. I think I always encourage any new musician to really embrace production, because if you can do that,
you can do it yourself.
And even if you just have the ability to tell someone, oh, hey, I'd love, if you're working with professionals, instead of just being like, oh, it's a bit this or it's a bit that, just go, hey, I've got an idea. How about we throw this plugin on and do this and that, and just help out. And you can really contribute and you can shape your own sound. And that's one of the things, as I was saying before, working on an album with the band, they wanted to go to a studio and this, that, the other. I'm like, no, let's do it ourselves. I know how to do it. It's not hard, and it'll sound exactly the way we want it to sound.
Yeah.
Which was arguably the biggest mistake of mine. Because it's like, instead of paying some other guy to be like, hey man, make it sound like this, it's like, hey Casey, make it sound like this. Change this, change that. I'm like, oh man, damn it. But hey, listen, before we're going to have to leave it at that, we got a couple of minutes. See?
You've been hanging to say that.
I have. Yeah, man.
You planned that.
Yeah, I'm cunning. But the number is 0412376848 to call in and tell us when you've had to tell someone, or maybe someone's told you, to leave it at that for the $50 Village Pizzeria voucher while we wait potentially for that call. I'm going to ask you, what are your immediate and future plans for your music? Where's it going?
I'm going to keep writing, lots of writing. And then I'll think about if I'm going to release them.
And how many of these songs do you expect to go to number one?
All of them.
All of them.
So no plan for like an EP or anything yet? Maybe just a few singles first?
I think for the nature of the songs that I'm writing, because it's pop music,
Yep.
I would say I'd look at some singles first, and then look at maybe an EP or a mini album.
Go for an album.
Yeah, I love albums.
Go for it. That was another thing with this band. It was like, let's put out an EP. I said, no, let's put out an album. Like, what? If we've got the songs, let's make an album.
Yeah.
That's just, if you want to put out an EP, put out an EP. It's like you put out an EP and I just knock on your door. I'm like, I thought I told you to. But no, it's if you got the songs.
Yeah, why not?
Are you doing any shows at all?
No. Nothing to
just
promote.
staying with the songwriting for now.
Yeah, I'm just building up the sound and the
songs. Where can our listeners find you on the socials?
It's all going to be Keeks, so Keeks, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Sorry.
What's so funny about
it's happening again. Casey's having his moment with his friend Ryan Grant.
Mate, Keeks is trying to, plug her social media platforms, and you've got you having your little chuckle over there.
I reckon you should leave it at that.
Sorry, leave it at that, Ryan. I'm going to come and get you. It's getting worse.
No, you've got to tell us what's so funny now, Casey. You've rudely interrupted our beautiful guest, Keeks, trying to plug her socials.
I'm really sorry about that. Please, say it again, and I'll stop.
No, I want to hear.
Yeah, what's so funny?
But you're not
Casey?
going to get it. It's only okay. So, the greater than symbol.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
We'll read what Ryan said there.
Read it for us.
Barry O. Oh my God, better than SD Jones. Better than Brooklyn Brawler, greater than Barry Horowitz, greater than Moondog Spot, who's greater than the Ultimate Warrior.
Okay. So that definitely is a personal joke.
Yeah, I told you, didn't I? But those guys are, let's not even get into it, but that's a very daring comment and I like it. He's getting worse. I'm going to have to stop hosting this. It's going to get personal. All right, well, we got what do we got? Maybe a minute left. 0412376848 $50 Village
Call us in,
$50
voucher. You're crazy. Just ask Ciara a question. Anything. You got yourself $50 to spend at a pizzeria.
You can ask her what her social media thing is again, because I couldn't hear it from me laughing.
Casey's too busy laughing.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help that.
That's all right.
Oh.
That's all right. I saw Pino laughing as well. I thought, oh,
And
is there a little inside joke going on
No,
here?
no. Only reason why I was laughing because that happened. It was a smaller version of it last week.
Yeah, he's getting worse.
And Casey lost it, and he actually won for that comment.
And thanks for tuning in again, by the way, man. Even if it is just a
Good on you, Rory. Listen in.
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, sorry.
Hey, good on you, Rory,
Hey,
as
good on to
well.
Rory as well, absolutely. My first recording stuff was MIDI Studio on the Apple 2E.
Oh my god,
Wow.
man! The Apple. My primary school still had Apple IIe's, and for those who don't remember, the Apple IIe was like, oh, how could you even describe it? It used the 5.5-inch floppy disks, which would never work.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course, they were like a Nintendo card. Well, not visually, but like a Nintendo cartridge. It never worked the first time. You always had to take it out and blow on it or realign, whatever. What was it like? It was a grayscale screen, but I remember it was just like it was like black or white.
Yeah.
You know, it'd take forever to boot up, and the games and stuff would all be text based.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be like, "You have entered the woods. Do you go left or right?"
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, you have gone right. And yeah, so the Apple IIe, man, that's something. I came
Wow.
in a bit after that.
How times have changed, huh?
Well, I think times have not only changed, but time is up. And I think we're going to
Yes.
have to leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
All right, cool. Well, this has been fun.
Yes.
I might call up just for the voucher.
Yeah, get your
Maybe
phone out.
Yeah, I know.
She can take home $100 voucher here.
Why
to,
not?
You are the
double
rating.
week.
You are the
I'm the
rating
reigning
champion.
champion.
You know, it'd be
Yeah.
hilarious if your mum rang up right now.
Mum, are you watching?
We're going to give her 30 seconds to ring up. If she rings up
Come
and
on,
asks her beautiful daughter a question,
I
they're going to
reckon
be
she's
taking
waiting for
home
me.
a $100 voucher to pizzeria.
Actually, I think Kara's mum's at village at the moment. While Kara's here, she's having
She's
the
probably
pizza
there
and the
waiting
vou-
for
she's
Ciara
got
to bring the
voucher.
voucher.
Yeah, I'm sure they got Wi-Fi there. She could be watching. All right, so what do we got? 30 seconds, you
Yeah,
reckon?
pretty much. That's pretty much it. But it's been a great show. Thanks for having
Thank you for having me.
us on. Thanks
Oh,
to
thank you.
our hostess with the mostest, Pino, for having
It's
us.
a pleasure.
Don't
as
forget
always.
Guitar Talk tomorrow night
Tomorrow
at
night.
8 o'clock with Will. And what else have we got? Mondays, Drum Talk with
Talk with me.
Pino.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
tune in. Yeah.
Next week we're actually starting a new segment.
What's that going to be?
It's going to be on every show.
Ah.
It's called Pick a Box.
Ooh.
What's going to happen is we're going to have 3 boxes in the studio, and we're going to have like a sound that it can happen throughout the show. While you guys are talking, I'll just trigger it off. And the first caller gets to pick a box.
Oh, wow.
One box is going to have a pretty cool prize. There's going to be an empty box, and there's also going to be a silly box prize. Like it could be a toilet brush or a toothbrush.
Fantastic.
So
It's a bit alarming that you associate toilet breaths and toothbrush.
Just,
Yeah.
just before we go on, the phone number is 0412 376 848, Fiona, because she's just messaged us saying, what's the number?
Oh, really?
So give us
Oh
a
my
call.
gosh.
0412 376 848.
All right, we might have a caller. Watch out.
I'm a bit scared.
Yeah, hopefully she tries to embarrass you.
Oh no,
I
please.
love when parents
Fingers
embarrass
crossed.
their
Yeah.
kids.
No.
We can talk about Tommy.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Come on, Fee.
4, 3,
Fee, come on.
1, 0.
She's forgotten the number.
-1.
That's
-2. -3. Oh, we'll wait.
Oh my
That
God.
clock. We got 10 seconds on that clock over there, and then we'll call it a day. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've given you every chance.
Fiona, what are you doing?
Carla's even put up the number for her as
Come
well.
on, we're all rooting
All right,
for
this is the
you.
last one, all right?
We're
Here we go.
breaking every rule we can.
9, 8,
I
7,
love this countdown.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Bum, bum.
Wow, wow, wow,
So
I don't
disappointed.
have that one.
that sounded so real when I did it that you don't need it.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it was like listening to a recording. Oh, well, I think that's
All good.
it.
She can call up next week.
Yeah.
Get
Cool.
that double voucher.
Well, my name's Casey.
Keeks.
Ricky. Ricky.
Great emotion here. And this has been On the Mic with Vocal Art Studios. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to do this mic
On the
together.
mic. On the mic. On the mic.
On the mic with Vocal Art Studios.